So you're watching your favorite Twitch streamer play Tarkov. He's running around the middle of labs, having a grand old time, and he's got like 2 million rubles worth of kit on him. And then at some point he gets one tapped in the face from God knows where. And you're sitting there like, man, that guy just lost 2 million rubles worth of gear. How is he ever going to recover? And then he gets back to his stash, and he's got over 200 million rubles in his stash. And you're like, never mind. This man is set for the rest of the fucking wipe. How the hell did he do it? Well, the truth is, Stinky Wag does it by actually going into raids and winning all his fights and looting the entire map, which is ideally where you want to be skill-wise in Tarkov. That's the most ideal spot. But I'm here today to show you that you don't actually have to necessarily be at that level in order to be rich in Tarkov. As you can see here, I've actually made it to 40 million plus rubles, and I'm going to show you how I was able to get to this stage while barely leaving my hideout at all. By the way, don't ever do that. If you never leave your hideout, you're never actually going to learn the game. So along with the money-making tips I'm going to show you in this video, make sure you're still going into raid as often as possible, learning the maps, and actually getting used to PvP, etc., etc., because that's where ultimately the most improvement is going to happen. However, I sat in my hideout for a lot of the wipe just to get 40 mil, just to prove a point. That just by sitting in your hideout for the most part, you can still be rich. Meaning that you can, in theory, keep going into raids constantly, getting used to maps, getting used to PvP, while still always having enough money to be able to keep on doing that with decent gear. So without further ado, let me show you the money-making tips that I use to maximize my profits in the hideout. So before I get started, I do want to say that I do stream on Twitch as often as I can. Sometimes in the mornings before work, and sometimes in the later evenings playing Tarkov. So the link to my Twitch will be in the description. Come hang out. I might be live when this video goes live, so definitely come hang out once the video is finished. I'd love to see you there. So first and foremost, my information comes from a data visualization that I created, which I'm going to show you right here. I call it the EFT Hideout Crafts Profit Visualization. Very simple. And the link to this will be in the description below. The data that this visualization pulls from is actually collected by another YouTuber named Airwing Marine. The link to his channel will also be in the description below. He's a super helpful guy. He makes all sorts of profit-making guides, and he makes weekly update videos on how the market's doing and all sorts of great content. And his Discord server is also fun to be a part of too, as is mine when I upload a YouTube video and when I go live on Twitch. So again, all of Airwing Marine's links will be in the description. Go check him out. He's the most helpful guy I've ever seen in Tarkov when it comes to this stuff. So again, this is pulling from his data, but I've just made it into a more easy to read visualization. So what you have here are all the different hideout modules on the left, and all the different crafts for each level of module. And then over on the right is simply the net profit bar for each craft. Now, at the moment, this visualization is updated on a weekly basis, but I will be working on tying it to a Google Sheets spreadsheet that is updated on a daily basis instead of a weekly basis, which again will also be from Airwing Marine. But at the moment, this is pulling from a Google Sheets spreadsheet that Airwing Marine created that is updated on a weekly basis. But again, I will be working on trying to get one that's updated on a daily basis. So very easily, when you look at this, you can see, like, for example, at the Intel Center Level 2, the most profitable craft is the VPX flash storage module. And then right under that are graphics cards, and etc., etc. The coloring means something slightly different. It means the value per hour that you're going to receive from the craft. So for example, the net profit each time you craft a VPX is going to be about 305,000 rubles. But also in the text, in the little tooltip, you can see that the value per hour is going to be about 6,670 rubles per hour if you just keep crafting the same thing over and over. For the surveys that I've taken from the community, from various other Discords, people have said that these are the two numbers that are the most useful to them. This is designed for people like myself and many others who may be working a job part-time and or going to school and just don't have the time to play Tarkov that often, this spreadsheet is designed for those people so that they know that for the little times that they can get on the game, they can start a craft, and then when they do come back, they'll have made some money. So yeah, very simple to read. You can go through each module and see that, for example, Propital with used golden stars, so using your golden stars down to 1, is the most profitable thing for MedStation 3. Wires are the most profitable thing for Workbench 1, if you get your parts for the right price. So all this does come with that caveat. The cost to craft is also in the tooltip, so ideally if you can shoot for that much, then that's the amount of profit that you're going to get. So etc, etc. Again, the link to this will be in the description. It's for you to look at and gain your own insights. But for this video, I'm actually going to be just going through each Hideout module and talking about what I do to maximize profit as well as maximize the crafting skill down at the bottom here. So first and foremost, all of this works the best if you can max out a Bitcoin farm. Now, max out, I say that with air quotes, because all I have done and all that I think you need to do is just get a full level 2 Bitcoin farm. 25 out of 25 graphics cards. If you want to go for solar power and get 50 out of 50, by all means go for it. I'm not stopping you, but I do think that with 25 out of 25, even with the recent Bitcoin nerf, I still get 2 Bitcoins a day, which is well over 1 million a day. For me, that's just fine, so take that as you will. But the bottom line is, get a Bitcoin farm. This is by far the most, this is just straight profit, this Hideout module. Moving on to the other Hideout modules, we're going to start with the Workbench. So at the Workbench, the 2 crafts that I go back and forth with the most are Hawk Gunpowder and Green Gunpowder. So Green Gunpowder I'm going to talk about real quick. There is one caveat to make this as profitable as possible, and that is to make sure that you have Spot Tour Part 2 completed for Peacekeeper. Reason is because if you're able to do this, he will allow you to buy M67 hand grenades from him. And when you do the math, this is actually considerably cheaper. So I'm going to show you. Very simple, we'll filter by item. So you could buy 2 of them for like 29,000 each, but I do see these push 30 and 40,000 rubles. $78 is the most expensive I've ever seen it get. And actually, if you see here, that's still under 10,000. So considerably cheaper than flea market price. And so if you buy 2 of these, that's about just under 20,000 for both M67s. And then you just go to Prapor and buy your single smoke grenade for about 6,000, and you're looking at about 25,000 rubles, which will turn into 75 to even 80,000 rubles every time you craft a Green Gunpowder. So this is like a good lazy craft once you have Spot Tour Part 2 completed. Just buy all 10 M67s from Peacekeeper each time you run out of M67s, and then buy 5 smoke grenades from Prapor, and you're all good to go for another 5 Green Gunpowders to craft. Although according to my spreadsheet, which is why this is so helpful, it seems that Hawk Gunpowder has kind of decreased in profitability recently, and wires have seemed to taken over. So I might transition to that, actually. And again, this is how the spreadsheet can help you. One thing that I forgot to mention as well, at each Hideout module, you have to switch between 2 different crafts every single time you go to craft something. So you can't just craft the same thing over and over, or else your crafting skill will not increase. At some point, it'll just stop increasing. So just pick 2 crafts based on the spreadsheet that I'm giving you, and just switch between those 2 crafts at that module. And that will ensure that your crafting skill keeps just going up at a constant rate. And so at the Workbench, I'm probably just going to keep going between Green Gunpowder and crafting wires. So next is the Lavatory. So for this one's easy. I just keep going between crafting Cordura, using 4 of these tactical sling bags, and since I just finished that, I'm going to start the other craft, which is buying 1 P.E.K.K.A off the flea market for just under 30k, and crafting 2 Aramid fiber cloths, which, as you can see, will net me almost 40k. So it is definitely net profit every single time you do this craft. Now the reason Cordura and Aramid are so good to craft right now is because both of these items are used in the barter for the level 5 rig that Ragman sells at level 4. Widely considered the best rig in the game, and so everybody's always buying up these Corduras and Aramids to do that barter. And so that's why they're always consistently at around 20k, and why each of these crafts will always be the most profitable for you in this hideout module. Moving on to the Intelligence Center, what you ideally want to do right now is just keep going back and forth between VPXs and graphics cards. I might do a graphics card craft next. I've just been doing VPXs over and over, but the components for graphics cards seem to have, well, some of them seem to have chilled out a little bit. So I might, but ideally you want to go back and forth between these two crafts right here at the Intelligence Center. They do take a while, but they are huge profit once you do manage to make them. Next is the water collector. My water filter just ran out, so I'm just going to head to the flea and without hesitation just pay this crazy amount, if I can, for one of these water filters. They do go by really quickly, and there's a reason for that. There we go. So even though that was like 190k that I just spent, the more your crafting skill goes up, the more likely it is one of these will produce two of these. And each one of these is worth at least 130k. I've seen them push 140, sometimes even close to 150. And if one water filter manages to craft two of them for you, it's just easy profit. So definitely, if you got a water filter, or if you haven't got one yet, try to get it. Just buy water filters or find them in raid if you can, and stuff them in here. Just craft your purified water and straight sell it. As you can see, I don't actually have a boost generator, because for number one, I'm not going for Kappa this wipe, and number two, crafting moonshine is a net loss of money. And that's all I cared about for this wipe, again, just to prove a point. Up next is the med station. This one's a bit weird right now. Very recently, it used to be that the most profitable crafts were SJ6s and Pylomeds, although it seems to be transitioning to other things. If you're gonna craft Athletics, only do it for the quest. Like, please. This is a huge loss of money otherwise. Something that is always profit is just the AI2s. It's very small, but it is always net profit once you do get it. Maybe IFAX on a good day. But at the moment, I kind of just go back and forth between SJ6s and Pylomeds. Sometimes IFAX for this hideout module. And by the way, don't ever stack crafts. So as you saw, I'm buying Pylomeds even though I just crafted them, because ideally you want to buy the components low and sell yours high. So instead of just using the Pylomeds that I just crafted, I'm just going to buy someone else's and use them to craft the other thing. And then later I'm going to sell my Pylomeds back to them. That's how you make the most money per hour. Don't take the stuff that you crafted and use it in a different craft. That just wastes your time. So keep that in mind as well. The nutrition unit, if you want to power level your hideout, again, Airwing Marine has a whole video on that. There are plenty of crafts in here that you can use to power level your hideout, but there is actually nothing here that is profitable, really speaking. So that's why I don't really craft anything in here at the moment. And the last thing isn't really a craft, but it is an honorable mention. The scav case. I almost exclusively run the 85k scav case. Again, because I don't craft moonshine or farm that much intelligence at the moment, but the 85k scav case is kind of OP sometimes. I've gotten an ASA out of there. First scav case of the wipe, I got an ASA. I got a Bitcoin out of it the other day, and yeah, lots of other good stuff can come out of this thing. So if you get definitely get a scav case if you can afford it, and just run the 85k over and over. That's my recommendation. And so that'll do it for my hideout recommendations. Again, definitely check out the hideout crafts data visualization that I've made right here. Again, link to it will be in the description below. Hopefully for you it'll be a very quick and easy way to see which crafts are the most profitable for the week or for the day when I do get it updated on a daily basis, and hopefully it can help you maximize your profits in Tarkov so that you always have money to go into raids. Again, I was able to make 40 million plus for the first time ever. This is the first wipe I've managed to do this, and it was basically done from the safety of my hideout. So just letting you know that it is possible to do such a thing, and thus there's really no excuse to not have money, unless of course you're dying that much, but again, that's also Tarkov. So again, hopefully you found this guide helpful, and again, go check out Airwing Marine. None of this would be possible without the work that he's done over at his channel, so definitely go give him a subscription or a follow or a like on one of his videos. All I did was take the data that he collected and presented it in a more visually understandable, easy to read form. So link to his channel will be in the description. Link to his channel will be in the description. Link to this data visualization will be in the description, and that'll do it for me today. I want to thank you all so much for watching. My name is Zarir, and I'll see you all next time in the server.